EH&S Orientation Training. Health and Medical Program. Objective. The objective of this program is to ensure that all
HDHSA
employees are provided with occupational health care in accordance with legislation and the
HDH
corporate guidelines. Pre-employment medical. An occupational medical examination in line with the job profile of the position. Surveillance medical. A 2-yearly occupational medical examination in line with a defined occupational surveillance program. Exit medical. An occupational medical examination in line with a defined occupational surveillance program. Medical surveillance.
HDH
Uses the external services of NCP Medical Centre and OXA to coordinate and perform the medical surveillance program. Pre-employment medical
HDH
will ensure that every new employee undergoes a pre-employment medical in line with the job profile of the position applied for. During this examination, it will be determined what, if any, extra medical surveillance is required. Surveillance medical
HDH
will ensure that all employees undergo surveillance medicals every 2 years. This medical examination will include, but not be limited to, audiometric testing, lung function, height and weight, eye test, urine test, blood pressure, and any other biological monitoring measures identified by the job profile. Exit medical
HDH
will ensure that every employee who leaves the employ of
HDH
will undergo an exit medical examination in line with the surveillance program. Access to medical records. All employees have access to all their medical records. This includes records generated from accidents or incidents at work, annual medicals, and any other information resulting from any biological medical surveillance program that they might be on. The HR department and/or NCP Medical Centre can be contacted to access these records. First aid
HDH
will ensure that every department will have a trained first aider. It is a requirement of legislation for the first aiders to have refresher training every 3 years. Yearly refresher training will be provided as per corporate requirements. First aid boxes
HDH
will provide a first aid box compliant with legislation. Each first aid box will be numbered and entered into a register to be checked on a regular basis by a competent person. Any shortages will be immediately reported to the EH&S manager or designate who will replenish the box. A register is to be kept in the first aid box and must be completed should anything from the box be used. All incidents requiring first aid must be reported to the NCP Medical Centre or the EH&S manager or designate and investigated. First aid incidents. All first aid incidents are to be investigated as per RCMS 4.8.01, Incident Investigation, and reported to the Corporate Health and Safety and Medical Departments. Blood-borne pathogens
HDH
will implement and adhere to HS 25.0, Blood-borne Pathogens Control Plan. The control plan will be directed at the first aid responders and emergency teams.
HDH
A routine and reasonably anticipated tasks will not cause actual or potential exposure to blood or other potentially infectious materials. Only in the event of an injury or emergency situation will this occur. Under injury or emergency circumstances, then the first aid responder may be exposed to blood or other potentially infectious materials. In the event of a serious injury or emergency event, then the NCP emergency response will attend to treatment and casualty evacuation.